It's like I cut the light back on. It's like I told you last week. Brian Casanova is a no-good yellow coward. Therefore, Jagged Edge should be the winner of this match. But I guess we'll make it official, Brent. Go ahead and let's put a count on Brian Casanova. We'll give him to the count of 10 to get in the ring.
God, what?
All right. Brian Casanova is not here for family reasons, but the Anarchy family is not giving up without a fight. There will be a match here tonight because you got an opponent.
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag.
Ladies and gentlemen, the substitute for Brian Casanova from Catnip Alley, weighing in at 263 1/4 pounds, he is the Stray Cat, Brody James!
The bell has sounded, and what implications we have here in this matchup, the intensity that is reigning supreme here through this building, it not only affects the fans here that come here to see Anarchy, the wrestlers in the back, the wrestlers competing in this match, but also us as well.
Timmy D, I'm sitting here, I've got butterflies in my stomach. A week away from Hardcore Hell and War Games. If Team Elite wins, Jerry Palmer regains total control of Anarchy Wrestling. If Team Anarchy wins, Jerry Palmer will be inside the steel cage for 5 minutes with an Anarchy Wrestling superstar. So much on the line, and we didn't know, up until this point, who was going to be filling in for Brian Casanova due to a family emergency.
Well, as I stated before, and as you just touched on as well too, if Jerry Palmer, if the Elite win, Jerry Palmer is back in reigning here in Anarchy, and we remember what that was like, under his regime. And I mean, I know this may be a terrible thing for me to say, but I've at least, possibly considered what would happen, if he is that. I've dusted the resume off. I mean, I know that's a horrible thing for me to say. It's not saying I don't have any faith in Anarchy, but I guess I just know what Jeff G. Bailey is like, and I don't put anything past this man.
Well, it was just 3 weeks ago I found myself removed from the broadcast position. Andrew Pendleton III and John the Body Johnson sitting here as the Elite commentary team. That could very well happen again after Hardcore Hell. This match is so important because the winning team here, be it if Brody wins, this will be Team Anarchy getting an advantage. If Jagged Edge wins, Team Elite gets it. That advantage is so important because that means after the start of the bout in War Games, after a determined interval, one team will get a two-on-one advantage. That will go on for another time period until the sides are evened up. Whoever has that advantage will have that advantage until all 8 wrestlers are in the ring.
Yeah, and do you realize the punishment that you can inflict for your side of your team? I mean, 2-on-1, and it's inside a steel cage. No rules, and the punishment that can be done at that point, I mean, the match could be almost over, although, as we know what the rules are, they have to have all the competitors in. So even if you want to be done, you still have to endure all that punishment. That's why it makes it such a lethal matchup.
Well, going in, the early part of it has always been War Games. Once all 8 are in, it's the match beyond submission or surrender. The last time we had War Games here in Cornelia, the Korean assassin Chemo suffered an injury, has not been back in the ring since. And that was almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. That's what I've touched on as well too. It's ended careers. It's ended, just the way someone walks throughout the day. I mean, just the injuries alone is amazing, and that's why this is so important here as we head into Hardcore Hell. Right now, Jagged Edge on the outside here, trying to get some last-minute tutelage there from Jeff G. Bailey.
It's very true. Brent Wiley will be in a handicap match at Hardcore Hell, teaming with Bro Newsom against, surprising enough, his brother, Todd Sexton.
Talk about the family feud going on with that situation. Hardcore Hell hopefully solved some of those problems and issues. And right now, as we see Brody Ray Chase, the former Anarchy heavyweight champion, of course, we remember what happened back at Seasons Beating. You know, he would love to get his hands on Sean Tempers, our current Anarchy heavyweight champion, in that first blood matchup. What a gruesome match that was. And in my opinion, Brody Ray Chase was robbed of the Anarchy heavyweight championship.
You are certainly right, and you know we haven't seen the Temptation Sean Tempers in action since that big 10-man tag team match where Team Elite got the right to choose the stipulation for their team going into War Games.
Well, you know, I'm very concerned. Oh man, as Jagged Edge just takes down Brody Chase, I'm very concerned in regards to, you know, the Elite already looking pretty well in that matchup that you discussed, and then as well in this, I can't even imagine if they get the advantage as well too here in this matchup. I'm really not going to have a lot of confidence going into Hardcore Hell for Team Anarchy.
Well, Team Anarchy already down a member. Brian Casanova will not be on Team Anarchy.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that Anarchy does have is heart, and they will leave their bodies on the line until there's nothing left to give, and that's one thing that I certainly can say for that. And right now, Jagged Edge just taking Brody Chase in a really bad predicament here, taking that leg and just draping it across the steel. Oh man, just taking that leg and just wrapping it across the steel as he taunts our fans here in Cornelia.
Franklin Dove, our owner here at Anarchy, checking on Brody Chase to see if he's able to continue.
Yeah, and what's interesting is Franklin Dove isn't too far away from Jeff G. Bailey. Certainly no love lost there between those two. And then on the opposite side, you've got current owner and former owner going on right now. And after Hardcore Hell, it may be back to having the Jerry Palmer regime.
I cringe at the thought of that.
Yeah, I as well.
And I'm not going to say, I'm not afraid to admit that sitting here. I've sat in this very broadcast booth and I've had to do commentary with Jerry Palmer. It's an uncomfortable situation, especially because you get bullied out of the booth.
Yes.
For him to be up here.
You're exactly right. I know I've certainly had my run-ins as well. You know, and John Johnson would always get mad at me for not giving Jerry Palmer his just due. You know, and I would always tell John, it's like, I give the man credit for what he has done with Anarchy, but it's his attitude change that has happened over the span of a year that I question and that has really not set well with me. I mean, just like right there, he's swatting at the fans. That's something Jerry Palmer would have never done years ago. And just the landscape and the way things have changed here in Anarchy, you know, that's why the War Games matchup is so important, because Anarchy may never be the same after this, and for good or bad. I mean, you may have a situation where the Elite members may not even be able to show their face or be able to even survive War Games, and what would that dynamic show? As we get an unfair advantage here, and Franklin Dove.
Did you see the smile on Jeff G. Bailey's face? He's telling Franklin Dove, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do about it?
What can you do? The referee's on our side.
It's disgusting. So important is Hardcore Hell, of course, and War Games. So important is this matchup here, because it's all about who's going to get that advantage going into Hardcore Hell. And the elbow being dropped from Jagged Edge misses as Brody Ray Chase moves out of the way. Jagged Edge going to try and do it again. It didn't work the first time, and it's not going to work the second time. And now as Brody Ray Chase have enough to get up, he's on his feet. What can he do here? Oh, it wrenches that arm, and that's a great equalizer right there. Jagged Edge is in trouble. Brody Chase needs to get back to his feet. Really try and lay in some of that offense, because Anarchy and everyone is counting on you, Brody Chase. We need this advantage for Anarchy.
You know, you hate to play cheerleader sitting up here in the broadcast booth. I'm sorry, all of my support right now is behind the stray cat, Brody Chase.
Well, when my job possibly could be on the line, I'll be a little more of a cheerleader.
We need that advantage going into War Games, especially if Team Anarchy is going to be down a member.
You're absolutely right. Brody Chase going in for the cover. This could be it right here. Only a 2 count. You have to wonder if he could have just hooked the leg, but you still have to give Brody Chase credit. He was at least able to go in for a pinfall attempt here, and he's trying to get the fans here in Cornelia behind him.
As it stands right now, if Brian Casanova is not going to be a part of advantage or not, Team Elite will have 2 members coming into the cage, one right after the other.
Unbelievable. We certainly need every little bit of help that we can get. And you've got Jagged Edge just trying to lay everything in he can, but Brody Chase catching Jagged Edge, taking that knee and just planting it into the back of Jagged Edge. It goes straight down on the mat. Body scissors against the waist of the Jagged Edge, trying to slow down the breathing. And once again, we see Brody Chase making his way in, but Franklin Duff finally cutting off that weasel. Yeah, lay one into him, Franklin. Hit him, Franklin. Hit him. That would make me feel so great. Meanwhile, our senior official, Franklin Duff, running out Jeff G. Bailey. Oh, man, the axe handle from Jerry Palmer, and Jagged Edge just plants Brody Chase. No, not this way. Two. Oh, you got to be.
The winner of the match, earning the team advantage for Team Elite going into War Games, Jagged Edge.
Right, you have to wonder, was this a calculated move by Jeff G. Bailey? I mean, whether it was or wasn't, either way, the advantage lies with the Elite.